So hello, good Monday morning or afternoon, depending on what class you're in. I am Miss Fitzgerald if you have me in class, and if you don't have me in class, hi, Miss Fitz here. I just wanted to give you a lowdown on science fair expectations, science project, I should say, expectations for this school year. I know it's a little boring to listen to my voice, but I'll try to make it funny. Also, there's this I am sitting on my back porch. It's pitch black at close to 9 on Sunday night. So I apologize for nothing. If the dogs bark, they're going to bark. If the kids scream, it wasn't me. Okay. Every eighth grader has to do a science project. Get the groans out of the way, guys. It's going to happen. But you do have some flexibility in what type of project you can do. So, first things first, both projects are going to require research, communication, and curiosity. You're going to have to research your design in either Science Fair or Science Olympiad. You're going to have to communicate what you do in either a knowledge based test in Science Olympiad or your project itself an interview in Science Fair. And it's going to take curiosity on your part to get this done effectively. So both projects will require every student do their own individual. Let me say that again. It doesn't matter if you're working in partners. You're going to turn in your own individual annotated bibliography. That's going to be due the second week of October. I'll give you more updates next week. Each person's going to be required to do at least 3 article reviews in this annotated bibliography, and we'll go farther into that and research next time. Each person is going to submit a research plan and paperwork for Science Fair or a Science Olympiad game plan. So either way, you have to give us a plan of how you're going to get this done. Again, that will be due the second week of October, close to the annotated bibliography. All finished projects will be due no later than December 18th. If you do Science Olympiad, you will be testing that first the week, 2 weeks prior to Christmas break. In Science Fair, you will be required to turn in an interview on your project. Based on what's turned in December, we will determine who competes in the school science fair and regional science Olympiad. Know this, you will be receiving a grade. Your entire work habits grade, or 20% of your grade, will rely on whether or not you do a science fair project or science Olympiad project. So if you're one of those people, you're like, I'm not going to do it, even if you get an A++, you're not going to get above a C on your final grade if you do not do Science Fair or Science Olympiad. We send home syllabuses. You knew the expectation, and now I'm telling you again, you have to do it. Enough said. Okay. Everybody starts in research and planning. That'll be what we focus on for the next few weeks. Then you're building an experiment. That's going to be in October-ish. Testing and data should be done by Thanksgiving break, and your revision and final product should be done no later than December 18th. So the big question is, which one? Which one's right for you? Well, I don't know. That's why I want you to look. In Science Fair, you're using the traditional testing of a single variable. We're not building volcanoes, guys. We're not just doing a demonstration. You have to test a question. Which toothpaste makes whiter teeth? Which soil produces a taller plant? Questions that are testable by only one thing changing. You will have to do question, research, hypothesis, testing, analysis. Cool thing about this is you can go alone. If you have been burned by a pear before and you're like, nope, I need to be solo, this is where it's at. You may also work with partners, but they have to be in this class. No exceptions. It's too hard for 2 people to be working on the same thing when they're not together. It just doesn't work. I've tried it millions of times. So if they're not sitting in this room or in this class, they are not eligible to be your partner. Sorry. Your ability to do work in pairs or do it alone, that's up to you. If you're going to do Science Fair, this video right here, so good. He's going to give you projects that'll win. I promise.
I love science fairs because
it's 12 minutes. I know if I tell you to watch it. Some of you are going to watch it, some of you aren't. You have a lot to do in the next 30 minutes. So I suggest if you decide on doing Science Fair or you want to look at Science Fair further, check out this dude. Next one is education.com. And by the way, all my slides are on Schoology right now, so you can totally see. Education.com it only goes to the 5th grade as far as science fair project ideas, but there are some good quality projects based on one variable. You want to get in here, it gives you, let me look at this one, does temperature or concentration affect pH? So you're going to test pH, it gives you procedures, it gives you references, it gives you ideas on what to do. Take a look at this, look at materials, no matter what project you want to do. If you have to buy a lot of things, I would stay away from it unless I always have a kid like, I'm going to make a hovercraft. And it's like, you don't have the money. Yeah, I do. Guess what? Never saw the hovercraft. Ever. In 7 years. If you don't think you can get it done or if it's not simple enough, stay away from it. If you really, really are like, I'm going to do this, there you go. You can do that too. Science Buddies, you've probably seen before. You have to be careful in Science Buddies. They will give you tons of great ideas, but some of them are demonstrations. You want to stay with the which questions, what, which, why, things like that, that can be answered. You can also come in here and you can come to ideas, and it will give you like ask a question, doing research, constructing hypothesis, tons of resources. Sorry. Again, I regret nothing. Science Olympiad, you have to do one building and one research-based project. I want everyone to watch this video. So what I suggest you do, where is my, whoa, guy. What I want you to do is pause here, watch the video. It's 2 minutes, and it'll kind of get you to where you want to be. Of course, see, real feed. It's a whole commercial on what Science Olympiad looks like. I approved it, so if you can't get it, it's because you have a fine. And I'm not sorry for you. Look on your buddy's computer, okay? Sorry. Science Olympiad website is right here. It is soink.org, not sonic.org, and we are Division B. Now, this gives you all the events. This does not give you the rules. The rules have not been published, but they will be soon. All these last 12, from Circuit Lab all the way down to Write It, Do It, those are all building events. These top 10 are all academic events. You have to do one out of this top 10 and one out of the bottom, however many that is. I can't even count. I want to say it's like 14. Each one has an idea of resources and links, sample diagrams. It does not have the rules. The rules have not been published. Once we decide who's doing what, you'll get the rules. I promise. Calm down. Calm yourself. Okay. So, for this, you have to collect information and engineer and build or design something. Will be tested both academically or building by December 18th. So for 2 weeks before this December 18th guideline, we'll be testing boom lever one day, wheeled vehicle another. We'll do testing within the classroom. So the top 40-ish people will get to go to regional science fair here in town, probably at Tibbetts. And the top 20, if we qualify, will go to state. They'll get to go on a trip, go to the zoo, do all the stuff, hang with my peeps. It's fun. Pros. Science fair is good for people who want to work solo. Very procedure-based, easier to receive direct instruction for. You can read that. Science Olympiad. Great for people who want to work in pairs. Very detailed instructions. If you make the state teams, you have great opportunities, and it allows practice in engineering and problem solving. Cons. Science fair, a lot of people have not been successful in the past, therefore they struggle with it, or the idea of it in the future. We require testing that most of the time will have to be done outside of class. Paperwork is required before you experiment. That's always a big one. You have to get it signed. You have to get your paperwork signed and turned in before you experiment, or you can't do it, or you do it all for nothing. It has to be approved. Therefore, if you decide to do a project where you set your hand on fire, we can say no or have you at least sign a release with a supervised person that can help you do that. Just kidding, you can't set your hand on fire, don't ask. Science Olympiad, you have to work on teams. Teams can be tricky, teams can suck, people can sometimes suck, right? A lot of time you'll get in a team and you'll do the majority of the work, or you'll be that person that doesn't do much of the work. Either way, you are going to be required to work in that team. You're not going to be able to get out of it. So pick teams wisely. If you can trust them, do it. If you know you're going to do the work, don't let them be your partner. Guys, I don't care if they're your friend. Don't do the work for them. Regional competition on Saturday. If you make the team, it's required you go. Rules give no room for variation. It's very strategic. You have to do very close reading. If you struggle reading and you don't think you can read very technical things, it's just not for you. I'm not being mean. I'm being honest. It's going to be really, really hard to be successful in Science Olympiad if you don't understand reading above ninth grade level. It's going to be tough. Science Olympiad is for people that are very, very dedicated and understanding and doing research and figuring out things through trial and error. It's the more difficult of the two choices. I didn't put this in here, but it a lot of times can be the funner of the two if you do it right. So there you go. 2 things to do. Okay. First thing is look at those websites, kind of look around. By the end of class, complete the discussion post for today, labeled Week 1 Science Fair. It's going to require you to answer a couple of questions and complete sentences, and then respond to a classmate's post. Be nice. If you respond horribly, it's easily screenshotted and turned in. So, you choose your fate with that. Do your appropriate classwork. Read and download any materials you may need and start deciding. Due by next Monday, a week from today, is the bid sheet. Your teacher should have passed out a bid sheet or is about to. It says your top 2 choices for Science Olympiad or your top project ideas for Science Fair has to be signed by a parent, and it must be in by Monday. The reason for that, the parent signature, is just so they know you chose to work in a pair or work alone, and they know where your project idea is going. That way, if you say, hey, my top project idea is which kind of fire is the hottest on my hand, your parent might go, ooh, I don't think that's a good idea. Or if you say you're going to do wheeled vehicle and your parents we had bad luck in Science Olympiad, I want you to do something else, they have that buy-in to it too. And then next Monday, we'll have a better kind of idea of which direction you're going. You'll declare either Science Fair or Science Olympiad, and we'll move forward. Every Monday, we'll be working on this, so I look forward to talking to each and every one of you, and if you're not in my class, I'm sure you'll hear my voice again. Get these 2 things done. Into class, due by next Monday. No excuses. Peace.